Hello, Pastor Mark here, back again for another quick Bible study on Wednesday here in Omaha, Nebraska from the Word of Life Fellowship Church. Today we're in Ephesians chapter 5. I believe it's chapter 5. It is chapter 5, and we're going to, on your own time, read between verses 22 and verses 33. I'll read a few of those verses, but this is the context. The Apostle Paul, writing to the church in Ephesus, giving instructions about living for the Lord, etc., as he often did in his epistles. But this particular passage, there's, for whatever reason, I'll say it like this. If you're in a situation where somebody else is being told that they need to make some changes, and you want to go like, listen to that. You need to make this change. And then the conversation turns and you're being told you need to make some changes. And then the other party is now saying, yeah, you too. This is kind of one of those. So the Apostle Paul, in the 22nd through the 24th verse, he reminds the wives of those married people that they should submit to their own husbands like they do to the Lord. And just as the church is subject to Christ, so wives be to their own husbands. That makes a lot of ladies really upset. But in the next passage, sorry, just bumped my camera. In the next part of the passage, beginning with verse 25, husbands through verse 33, there's a whole lot they're being told. And mostly it circles around loving their wives as Christ loves the church and gave himself for the church. Now, I have heard in my life, growing up, when my dad, Senior Pastor Justice, was performing weddings, often he would refer to this passage specifically for the men, that they're to love their wife like Christ loved the church. Christ gave himself for the church. He laid his life down for the church. It wasn't just talk, and then when hard times came, he walked away or turned his back on the church or wouldn't do it. No, he was there to the bitter end. Christ is the covering for the church. He's the protector. He's the provider. He's the defender. He's the one that the church can call out to in any time, day, night, holidays, weekends, it doesn't matter. The church calls on the Lord and he responds immediately. He is there. He doesn't say, wait till halftime. I'll help you out during halftime. He doesn't say, why are you talking to me now? Blah, blah, blah. So there's some pretty good instruction here for the husbands that they ought to be the husband to their wife as Christ is the head of the church. The husband is the head of his wife. He ought to be the same kind of head. Those are big shoes to fill. Those are pretty big shoes to fill. But here it is in the Bible. For this reason, Paul again quotes something from Genesis and something that Jesus said in his earthly ministry. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two become one flesh. This is part of that reason. That man has that responsibility. He has all of that responsibility and more. So when we're walking our walk with the Lord and living for the Lord and and spending our days with the Lord, praying, seeking Him, following His direction, trying to live the life that He would be pleased with. Remember, we're His bride, if you please, and He is the husband, He's the head of the church, and He's there for you, and we know that. But in the earthly example that we live in our earthly lives daily, you who are husbands, you have a lot of responsibility. See that you fulfill that. And wives, submit to your husband like you would the Lord. That's pretty broad. I'll let you fill in the blanks there. But there's a lot of responsibility on both parties, and the mirrored relationship is the church and the Lord, and that relationship. He's the husband. He's the head. The church is His bride, if you please, and we do His bidding. He wants us to go and tell somebody what He did for us, well, then we go and tell them. If He wants us to go and pray with someone, we go and pray. If He wants us to give of our time, give of our resources to a particular need or cause or individual or what have you, then we do those things because He's directed us to. There's a lot more here, and as I'm talking and thinking about it, I'm realizing this is way more than I could cover in 5 to 10 minutes without making some people mad. So don't just take my word for it. Read this passage in Ephesians chapter 5. Well, if you'd like, read the whole chapter, because the beginning part of this chapter transitions to this part of the relationship between a husband and a wife. It's enlightening. It's informative. It's also God's word to us. So I hope this is a blessing to you today. I hope this is something that enriches you as a person. If you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. But read it for yourself. Don't ever simply take my word for anything. I'm usually referring to something out of the Bible. I can't think of a time when I did not in our Bible studies. So read it. It's the Lord's word for us, and apply it to yourselves. Forgive me for blinking a lot today. My eyes have been bothering me today quite a lot. So forgive me for that. I can't really see very well today. But God bless you. I hope to see you this Sunday at the True by Hilton, 10:30, and in the big conference room on the main first floor. Be glad to see you. Hope to see you then. Hope you have the rest of your day is wonderful. God bless you.